meet today. So for example, we're going to talk right now with our whole team in the Netherlands. So Mike, when you're ready, it's going to be your turn to tell us a little bit more about World Fish Migration Day and what's going on in the Netherlands. Oh, we'll give them a minute. It looks like the Dutch team is a little bit delayed getting to their screens, but when they're ready, they'll get on. Since I'm on this theme of gratitude, I also wanted to put a big shout out to all of the sponsors that help make this program possible. You'll be hearing from some of those sponsors and some of the people who have helped supported World Fish Migration Day in the past and right now, but we really couldn't do this without the teamwork from so many other people. It looks like the Dutch team is just about ready to join us. They're trying to get their camera on, so that's fantastic. I'll give them another minute here to figure that out, and hopefully we'll hear from them pretty soon. All right. In the meantime, for those of you who didn't hear my opening events 5 minutes before the program started, anybody who's come on just recently, for anybody who's a participant, please, in the chat box, what we would really love for you to do is to put down your name, what country you're coming in from, and also what river, ocean, estuary, or body of water is important to you. What do you consider your home waters, whether that be a river, an estuary, an ocean, or anything in between? We really want to see how rivers can connect us all. Also, for any of you who happen to be fish nerds like me, please put in there your favorite fish. Today, I happen to be wearing an Atlantic silverside on my shirt. However, I know there's a lot of different favorite fish that are out there. My home waters are the Hudson River estuary of New York, where I'm happy to represent the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and Cornell University in a whole suite of great education programs. But now we're going to move over to the Netherlands and hear about the great stuff that they're doing. Mike, take it away. Glad to see you here.
Do you hear us? Okay, perfect. Well, world, welcome. Welcome on this Fish Migration Day. And welcome to the Netherlands. Right now, we are at the Wadden Center at the Afsluitdijk. That's on the northern part of the Netherlands. It's a world famous dike, I may say. It's 32 kilometers long, and it separates the Wadden Sea from Lake IJssel, which is fresh water. The dike is about 90 years old. Right now, we will have a celebration soon, and we have some big reinforcement works going on this dike. And part of that reinforcement work is the creation of a fish migration river. And that's a very special project indeed. So I have two guests with me, two regional ministers who can tell a lot about the project and what's going on over there. And I'm very grateful that they have took the time to be here. And those regional ministers are Ms. Affine Fokkens and Mr. Kees Loggen. So maybe just start with a small introduction.
Oh yeah, thank you. Well, my name is Affine Fokkens, and welcome to the Netherlands. I'm a regional minister, and I'm very happy that your fishing day today is being held here on the Afsluitdijk, on the water center. And well, it's a lovely day today, Mike.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes,
It's great.
yes.
In case.
Yes, I'm Kees Logge. I'm regional minister from the province of North Holland, and it's on the other side of this great dike of us, and it connects the province of Friesland to the province of North Holland, and it is built 90 years ago when it was ready. So we have a big celebration coming up. But what is very important, and I like to thank the World Fish Migration Organization for hosting this event here on this particular spot here, because it raises the awareness of the importance for migratory fish and the attention for it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'm just curious, what does a regional minister do on a daily basis?
Oh, a lot.
Okay.
Reading, talking, that kind of things.
Yeah.
But the more normally you give some special fields.
Mhm.
For example, I have tourism, traffic, safety, also the Afsluitdijk and the fish migration, the river. So that's we're talking a lot and doing the right things for our provinces.
Yeah, in case?
Well, I am minister for spatial planning, water management, and housing.
Mhm.
Important topics, especially in Holland. Water management is really a big thing here.
Yeah.
If we didn't have that, we wouldn't exist as a country. And with that is also the big waters surrounding our province are under my responsibility. IJssel Lake, Wadden Sea, and of course the North Sea. And we do it in a shared responsibility, of course, with Friesland and our national government.
Yeah, okay. And what was happening today at this site?
Well, we have here a very active exhibition for children and also for adults. They can took VR classes and then you can swim with the fishes and that kind of thing. So, but most important is that we take care and we talk about all the important for the fish migration, and that it's very important for to grow and also to reproduce the fish. That they need fresh water and they need salt water, and that's we talk about it with other people.
Okay, so that fish migration river, the creation of it in the Afsluitdijk, it's a big project. It's very important.
It's very big. It's the biggest river of the world. So it's very important.
Okay. And the two provinces are working together. Can you tell us something more about it?
Together with our national government, we're working on this. And when we built this dike 90 years ago, it was for water safety reasons, because we had a lot of flooding through this body of water here. So we needed protection, and we built this dike for that. And 100 years ago, when we were start thinking about building this dam, we hadn't any awareness of biodiversity, the importance of biodiversity, fish migration. People didn't have that on their mind. Now, 90 years later, we are very much aware of the importance of biodiversity and the importance of migratory fish. And that's why now we spend a lot of money, we invest a lot of money to build a fish migration river. And it's the biggest in the world. And we have to learn, of course, the good lessons of it to fine tune it for the future. But we are very happy, very glad, but also very proud that we are part of this big event and this big thing, fish migration river.
Okay, I understand, but I'm a real Dutchman, so I like to build dikes, and I think safety is very important. Of course, fish migration is important. Isn't that a problem to make a hole in the dike?
No, it isn't. No, it's not dangerous. Casey, you said it already. The dike it protects us against the water, but it's also forms a barrier for the fish to swim from salt to fresh water. And that we have to repair because it's very important for the maritime area. So I think it's not dangerous. It's okay.
Well, Holland, of course, is very famous internationally by Hansje Brinker, the little guy who put his finger in the dike and stopped the country behind the flooding. And now we are building a huge hole in the dike But with all the safety measures we have put in place, like if the water is rising, we can close the hole in the dike,
Okay.
and then we are still safe behind it.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
I'm assured.
Oh.
Thank you very much. Well, Chris, later on we have the Fish Flag Awards, and then we'll be back with you.
Yes, you do. Thank you so much, Mike and the Dutch team. We will be checking in with you later. I loved both your conversation as well as the great conversation that's going on in the chat box. And anybody who hasn't, check that out. It's remarkable to me how fish and rivers and reconnecting rivers really excites people. And you touched on a couple of themes, the mixing of waters, those freshwater, saltwater migrations that happen. You touched in the chat box in your conversation on the themes of how ecology and culture, society, economy, right? It's all interblended together. And I think that's such an important part of what we're trying to do here with World Fish Migration Day is show that, yes, by benefiting fish, by reconnecting rivers, we are in fact reconnecting societies, increasing economies. It's just win, win, win all the way down the line when you make rivers better places for fish and people. And I'm particularly excited because this year, our very first event comes from a really special place. And a little bit later on, we're going to hear about that very first event. But first, because we love to celebrate, we are going to hear from a very special person, the winner of the Eurofishing event in 2020, Mr. Larry Dwayne. How are you, Larry? It's great to see you. Hey, Larry, how are you? Oh, I think you muted.
Oh, sorry, I saw it. I've unmuted.
You sound great, Larry. You sound great. Larry, where are you zooming in from? Where are you right now?
I had to run back to our studio because on the location where we were celebrating our migration day, fish migration day today, it was kind of getting dark, and we have a lot of trees over there, so I decided to just run back to the studio with the band so that we can get ready.
Awesome. Can you tell us the country and river that you're in or near?
Yes, the country is Kenya, and we were, just doing a small section of the river cleanup. We were doing a cleanup, and we were cleaning Nairobi River.
Oh, thank you so much. That is fantastic. So Larry Dwayne in Kenya on the Nairobi River. I understand that you're going to play a song for us. Is that correct?
Yes, the band is here. Yeah, wave, guys.
Listen, that kind of enthusiasm, we can't damn that. You can't put a barrier on that. So play on, Larry and company.
We're live. Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Shout out to everyone. Everyone, be ready for a really nice acoustic set.
Fantastic. Let's hear it. We would love to hear a song from you right now, if you don't mind.
Okay. So I'm gonna start off with Mazingira. Yeah. Tusipoziba ufa tutajenga ukuta, tutunze mazingira na masandio sasa. We have to protect our environment. The future generations will judge us by your actions today. Ufa tutajenga ukuta, tutunze mazingira na masandio sasa. We have to protect our environment. The future generations will judge us by your actions today. Rivers can't take it no more. Reason being in a choke. from all the plastic and waste material being disposed. Take a trip down Nairobi River. I promise there's nothing to smile about. All you will see is pampers and condoms floating around, blocking the flow of water. Fish inashindwa tulifanya nini to deserve this? Tourists wanna die. There's really nothing to see here. We are careless, not careless for the rivers that care more for us. Give us water plus, it's a natural resource. Tuchunge our resources. The sources God he put us in charge. So let us take charge. Let us take charge, yeah. Tusipoziba ufa tutajenga ukuta. Tutunze mazingira na masalio sasa. We have to protect our environment. The future generations will judge us by your actions today. Ufa tutajenga ukuta. Tutunze mazingira na masalio sasa. We have to protect our environment. The future generations will judge us by your actions today. If we have clean rivers, then we have clean lakes. And when we have clean lakes, then we get more fish, then we have more food, feeding up the nation. Everything is all good. Namika Larry Joyner will claim my part clean. Easy river to kill the skulls. Wangari Matai, I will die for this. Big up to Kill Mse, anacheza kama yeye, making sure innovations don't destroy our art. Now the slums going green, mazingira yetu haya ya wasafi, yeah. Tusipoziba ufa tutajenga ukuta, tutunze mazingira na masalio sasa. We have to protect our environment. The future generations will judge us by your actions today. Ufa tutajenga ukuta, tutunze mazingira na masalio sasa. We have to protect our environment. The future generations will judge us by your actions today.
Yeah, cameras on, everybody. We need to show Larry and his band our appreciation. Yeah, cameras on. Oh my gosh. Larry, that was so fantastic. I have so many questions for you, and that was such a wonderful way to represent rivers. We're going to hear you a little bit later on and talk to you a little bit more about some of your work. Can you hang on for a little bit later? Is that cool?
Nope. I'm here all day, all night. I'm not
Love it,
leaving.
Larry. We love it. Thank you so much, Larry. We'll talk to you soon. That
Thank
was
you.
that was one of the best ways to kick off World Fish Migration Day. Another great way to kick off World Fish Migration Day was in a country I've never been to, but in a country I always wanted to visit, and that is New Zealand, home of some amazing migratory fish that basically exemplify the connection between ecology and culture and history. We're going to have a video coming up in just a second that basically is the kickoff video, the start of World Fish Migration Day about 16 hours ago. Let's hear from New Zealand.
E ka mau ka whakahio te ao, anei rā te reo kaitahu, e rere atu nei kia koutou, a tēnā koutou katoa. A happy World Fish Migration Day. We'd like to give our thanks to Herman and the World Fish Migration Foundation for allowing us to open this wonderful and amazing event today. So I'm Tūmai Cassidy. I'm going to be speaking on behalf of Te Runaka o Tākou, the local people of this area. And it's our pleasure to open this celebration, this wonderful day here at one of our significant wetlands, Te Nohoaka o Tukiewo, situated in the Waihora Waipauri Wetlands Complex. It's one of the most important refuges for our native fish, our tuna, our eels, our inaka, our kokopu, some of our native galaxids. Today we'll be welcoming the community to come and experience our wetlands. We'll be running a workshop alongside Department of Conservation, and our goal is to, and our aim is to protect all of the inhabitants of this area for now and for future generations. Kia ora.
Oh, that was fantastic. Oh, A special thanks to Maureen Richardson and all of her colleagues that helped put this video together and help basically bring World Fish Migration Day to a great start a few hours ago. We've got many more countries to visit. So right now we're going to go live to our colleagues in Mongolia, who I understand hosted an incredible 2-day event. Hello to our colleagues in Mongolia. Can you introduce yourself, please? Who are you and where are you and what are you doing?
Hello. Hello. Happy World Fish Migratory Day to everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Tuya, and I am Senior Advisor to the Nature Conservancy Mongolia program. And I represent the Nature Conservancy Mongolia program today. We work in headwater of Dilgermuron River, which is tributary to Silingmuron. Silingmuron, maybe some of you know, it makes half of the water flowing into Baikal Lake, oldest freshwater lake in the world. Makes also 2% of world's freshwater reservoir. So it means we are working on headwater of Baikal Lake in southern part of Siberian taiga. And we work with communities to protect taimen fish. Yesterday, we organized with Ministry of Environment together World Fish Migratory Day event. And we talked about whole system approach, which is the Nature Conservancy approach, which is introduced also to Mongolia. So river basin administration people, scholars, and communities, they participated and they listened how it's important to protect the river as in whole system, entire river from head to the end. So that's our aim. And we are working with local community on ground and also with fishing companies. So I hear you are you like fly fishing. Welcome to Mongolia to fish taimen, which is largest freshwater species there. So many people come from around the world to visit us, and we introduced also this catch and release fishing there.
You brought up something. Thank you so much for bringing up the taimen. That is, can you just briefly describe what a taimen is and why is it important to your region?
Yeah, it's indicator of a healthy river. That's why it's very important, and it lives very long, and it travels also to fish tagged in Mongolia show that for spawning they traveled 98 kilometers long. So from maybe Baikal Lake to Mongolia. So you can imagine how powerful these fish is, and very big. Yeah, it's at the top of food chain in the river. So we say it's a river wolf. Wolf is very symbolic for Mongolian grassland, but we do have also this river where we work, and it's also part of Arctic Ocean drainage. So Mongolia has very high altitude. Mongolia is very high altitude land. It's like Tibet. So our glacier and permafrost and all this feeds this river. So it's very important also for local communities who lived there. We work with Mongolian nomads, and nomads protected this river for generations. So Mongolian herders are known for their conservation ethics. They protect lake for generations. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving us so many great examples of how to conserve rivers, not just for this generation, but for future generations, and learning from the lessons and wisdom of past generations. We really, really appreciate this example. And thank you so much for participating in World Fish Migration Day. And thank you to the TNC and the Nature Conservancy and all the great events you worked with them in Mongolia this year. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And my grandchildren, they support this event as well. You see behind me their video on the riverbank. And next year, I hope you will sing with Larry together. Thank you very much. Very excited.
Thank you so, so much. Thank you very much. A lot of things have come up today, and you notice many people respond to nature in different ways. And we have great examples of this artistic expression when it comes to rivers and fish and nature, whether that be song or dance or fish flags. That's right. It's time to get into something incredibly exciting. We're going to connect now with Dane of Wildlife Forever. And Dane, can you come on in and just tell us a little bit about Wildlife Forever and especially the Fish Flag Art Contest?
You bet. Thanks, Chris. And thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining today. It's great to see you all. I'm calling in from Wisconsin in the U.S. here. I'm just a stone's throw away from the St. Croix River, where we have one of my favorite migratory fish, the lake sturgeon. But yeah, thanks, Chris. We have a really signature program here at Wildlife Forever called our Fish Art Contest. And so over the past 24 years, we've been working with kids K through 12 to draw and submit their favorite fish and submit it to us, and then we judge them across the country for best in show, different categories for contests. And for the past 3 years, we've been happy to partner with the World Fish Migration Foundation to have a special award category for migratory fish. So for the past couple of years, we've had just some amazing artwork, over 44,000 entries each year from 43 countries. And then this year, a special award category for the fish flags, which today we're going to be presenting some of the winners, which I'm excited to see. I haven't seen the winners yet, but just really a unique way to get kids engaged in the aquatic conservation realm, into fish and fishing that, may not have otherwise had that exposure. And so it's a really neat program. Like I said, it's been going on for 24 years. Wildlife Forever is a 35-year-old organization. Yeah, just really excited to be here and be partnering with all of you guys.
Well, Dane, thank you so much for that intro to the Fish Flag Contest. And like you, a lot of us are very excited to see these winners. So excited, in fact, that we're lucky to have 2 guest judges who are going to jump on and tell us a little bit about their experiences as judges and what fish flags and migratory fish mean for them. Yes, Mr. Dr. TV star Zeb Hogan, as well as my good friend from Kruger National Park, Robin Peterson. Zeb and Robin, how are you guys doing today?
Hey, good to see you.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Let's just take one at a time. And Zeb, could we hear from you, just for those who aren't familiar, who you are, what you do, and why fish flag contests and migratory fish are important to you?
Thanks. Hey, everyone. Zeb Hogan here. I'm a research professor at the University of Nevada, Reno. I'm a fish lover, migratory fish lover, and host of Nat Geo Wild's Monster Fish. And I'm really excited to see these fish flag applicants and winners. I'm excited about this. I think fish art for me is important. I think about, one of the places I work is the Mekong River Basin. And in Thailand, in Eastern Thailand, there are 3,000-year-old cave paintings. And what the people chose to paint were themselves and fish on these cave walls. Just shows you how important fish were to people even 3,000 years ago living along the Mekong. Another example is at Angkor Wat in Cambodia, where 1,000 years ago on their temples, people were carving beautiful carvings of fish on the walls, and just to show the significance and people expressing how important fish are to their lives and their culture. So I'm really excited about this fish flag contest. I can't wait to to see more about the winners. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Those are some great examples of art and fish being a part of our lives for a long, long time. So speaking of like why migratory fish are important, Robin, who are you? What do you do? And why are migratory fish important to you?
Hi, Chris. Good to be on the show. And yeah, man, the flag competition was awesome. I had a great time judging that. And I'm with South Africa National Parks. I'm based in South Africa in the Kruger National Park. I've been working there for many years. And yeah, we have awesome fish in our parks. We have tigerfish, yellowfish, eels. And these fish are all iconic fish for one, for angling and recreation, and for resources. So definitely migrations are critically important in my neighborhood, for sure. Yeah, very excited about the fish flag. I just want to echo what Zeb said. It's just such a great tool to express yourself and to express conservation and biodiversity protection. And it can really tell a story that transcends languages and cultures. So yeah, man, I'm super excited about the competition and to see who the winners are.
Oh, that is fantastic. I'm sorry to go off script, but I got to tell you, if you ever get a chance to go to Kruger National Park, you got to look up Robin. He's got just a knowledge of that place like nobody else. Robin, thank you so much for being here. Zeb, thank you so much for being here. We're actually going to check in with you a little bit later in the program, so we can kind of get into the nitty-gritty of some of the themes that you brought up. But many, many people are very excited to see these winners. Before we go into the winners, we want to say, just like Zeb and Robin mentioned, we had so many great entries. Everybody who took the time to create a flag and submit it to us, you really are a winner. You really are a river hero for spending that attention, time, and talent making those fish flags. So we really, really appreciate it. We ended up dividing entries into two different categories, sort of a younger person category, I think 8 to 12, and an older student or youth category from 13 to 18. We're going to go through both, but to start with the younger winners, I'm going to turn it to our awesome World Fish Migration Day colleague and one of the people who's really making today happen, and that is Nicole. Nicole, come on in.
Hello, how's everyone doing? I hope you're good. It's been so fantastic seeing all these flags come in. I've been there since the beginning. We helped create the contest. And you know, the theme is break free this year. And I would say everyone did break free with these flags. We had so many creative entries. And like Chris said as well, all of you guys are winners who created these flags. I'm so happy to see them all. But without further ado, let's get into our 5 through 12 age category winners. All right, let's do a drum roll for third place. And it is Carrie. It is a Dorado by Claire Chow. Woo! From the United States. And this one's incredible. Look at the background. Look at the incredible. So good. All right, ready?
Claire, that looks outstanding.
Yes. And are we ready for second place? All right, second place is Smallmouth Bass by Elijah Massey, also from the United States.
Oh my God, you know, I catch these on the Hudson River estuary all the time.
Do they look like that?
This is like, I thought it was the Hudson River.
No way.
Elijah, you
Incredible.
blew my mind.
All right, guys, and now for the first place winner in the 5 to 12 category. Once again, a drum roll. It is Free Size Single Bag by Rose Lee, also from the US. Amazing job, Rose. Look at that. Look at the detail. Thank you so much.
Nicole, you know what I love about this fish?
What?
This is a stickleback.
Yes.
This is, when we talk about fish, we love to talk about the big giants all the time.
Yes.
This is one of the little fish, but it has such an amazing life story. And Rose, you captured that life story so perfectly. Thank you very much to our winners and to everybody who put in an entry. Now we're going to go to the 13 to 18 winners announced by Zeb Hogan. Zeb, take it away.
Hey everyone, it's my pleasure to announce the winners of the Fish Flag Contest, age 13 to 18 category. You guys will put up the flags as I announce the winners?
Absolutely.
Okay, so for the
they're coming up.
Great. Third place winner is Jason Jr. Ijume. Great job, Jason.
Oh, wow. That is great, Jason. That looks beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much.
Great. Now let's move on to the second place winner of the 13 to 18 age category is Alex Yang.
Oh,
Very nice. Beautiful.
Wow, that has so many cool elements and pieces to it. Alex, you really thought that through.
If it was up to me, everyone who submitted a flag would have been a winner, but these are awesome flags. And for the final first place winner, 13 to 18 age category is Yan Jun Mao. Great job, Yan Jun.
Hey! Wow, that is great. Oh my goodness. Zeb and Robin and Nicole, I don't envy your job in having to figure out all of those different fish flags. This is fantastic. There are some great flags in here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Zeb. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Nicole. And thank you to all of the fish flag entries. That was beautiful. But we're not quite done with fish flags yet. We're going to hear from our Dutch team about their fish flags. So, Mike, can we go back to the Dutch team and you can show us some of your fish flags? Excellent. Oh, Mike, don't forget to take yourself off mute so we can hear you as well as see your flags. Man, this suspense is killing me. This is here it is, finally at last. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I have to say some words before. Due to circumstances, we weren't able to have live, like right now, the presentation of the winners. So we prepared a small video of the number 1 and the number 3. And probably with the number 2, we will have a Zoom connection later on. So right now we have a small video. Back to you, Chris.
Hey, hello.
Okay, I tell you what, just while we're getting that video set up, because I want to make sure that we give the number 2 people the credit that they're due. Who was the number 2 winner? Just to let us know.
A boy called Nico.
So everybody, I wanted to let everybody know this is Nico's awesome picture. Nico, you did such a great job on that. We really loved getting this picture of this fish. It looks like a sturgeon or a trout going up a waterfall. You did a fantastic job, Nico. Thank you very much. And Herman and Mike, I think you've got the video queued up, so take it away. Hold on just a second. We've got some audio technical difficulties that we're getting through. If you'd like, I could narrate. In the meantime, I did want to say for everybody who and I'll shut up as soon as the sound starts, I promise. But for everybody who put in entries, you should check out the chat because there's a lot of great comments in the chat box about how wonderful everybody's drawings were. And I think that having this artwork like this is so important to reach people. You know, a lot of times in my world of being a scientist, it's not the same as hearing from people. So it sounds like we're ready to go. Let it roll.
Hi Chris, this is the Afsluitdijk again, and we have the winners of the Dutch Fish Flags Award 2022. we received about 100 entries, and all the entries were amazing. So all kids in the Netherlands, perfect. But of course, we can only have 3 winners, but you are all winners, but the top 3. So we start with number 3, and that's Jasmijn. Please can you hold up the flag for Oh wow.
Oh, very nice, Jasmijn.
Heel erg mooi, Jasmijn. Kijk zo even zien of
Kijk eens, Jasmijn. Heb jij een verschrikkelijk mooie vlaggen? Wat staat er allemaal op?
Er staat een schildpad op, er staan zeewaartjes op, kwallen, klauwvissen.
Ben je er lang mee bezig geweest?
Ja.
Het is wel heel erg mooi en je bent ook heel verdiend. Heb jij de 3e prijs hiermee gewonnen? Kijk eens, dit heb je gewonnen.
Wauw.
Nee,
Number 2 will follow soon. And then the winner.
The winner.
You know it? No? Okay, that's Mylin.
Laten we zien, Marlien. Very nice. Hartstikke mooi, meid. En ook voor jou geldt van harte gefeliciteerd. Mag ik je de hand geven? Gefeliciteerd, jij moet hem gelijk omhoog houden. En ook voor jou geldt, ben je er lang mee bezig geweest? Heel lang, ja. En vond je het leuk op? Vond je het leuk iets om te doen? Ja, wat vond je zo leuk aan? Gewoon. Ik vind het gewoon leuk om vissen te tekenen.
Stop trying to overanalyze my art.
Ik vind het sowieso leuk om te tekenen. Ja, en jullie begrijpen ook waarom het zo belangrijk is waarom we dit doen?
Ja.
Hartstikke goed. Nou, groot applaus voor de winnaar.
This is so good.
Op je slaapkamer of waar dan ook. Kun je deze neerzetten en als je deze ziet dan denk je wauw, dat was mijn eerste prijs. Ja? Nou, fantastisch.
Oh, so beautiful, Dutch team. So beautiful. Thank you guys so much. That was fantastic. A huge round of applause for all of our fish flag winners from all over the world. It was great to get so many entries and to have such a great event. Expressing art and such beauty in nature. That is wonderful. So a little bit earlier, we heard from our friend Robin Peterson from South Africa. And that's actually the country we're going to be moving to next. So who do we have from South Africa? Can you please introduce yourself? And what is your World Fish Migration Day event?
Yes, my name is Andisile. I am from South Africa. I work for the South African Institute for Aquatic Biodiversity. So we took a whole week to create a campaign to introduce fish migration to non-science people like high school learners and people outside of the science profession.
Mooi. Super bedankt. En succes.
So we started with a campaign for our social media featuring books, introducing people to the concept of fish migration. So one of the books that we had on display was Introduction to Fish Migration. And we moved on to engage with science students from high schools, learners, and teaching them about fish migration. So we chose to engage with people outside the science fraternity just because we wouldn't want to repeat the same message to scientists. So let's introduce the subject to people who don't know much about fish migration.
Nice. That sounds like a beautiful event. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you did that? What did your event look like? What did your events involve?
Okay, the actual event was going to a high school. So we engaged with high school students. We brought them specimen of fish that migrates from our collection department. And we also discussed careers they can take on in the science and fish preservation space.
Awesome, awesome. What are you hoping the impact of this event is? What do you want out of this?
Just creating awareness and sharing information, even with people outside science and and working with fish. It's not only limited to scientists and people that we work with, just like people who are not scientists and everyday people, so they can have this information and act on it. Because environmental issues don't only affect science and scientists, but it expands over to society.
That is such an important point. I think that one of the great things about fish and events like World Fish Migration Day is they help to highlight this growing movement of community science, this growing movement of engaging community members in some of these careers, some of these rivers, some of these movements. If you don't mind me asking a personal question,
yes.
How and why did you get involved in World Fish Migration Day or in this whole career you're in?
Actually, I have a limited background to science. I'm a communications guy. I work in science communication. So this was much of a learning experience for me too, as it was for the people who were involved. So I was like, let's go for people who don't know much about this subject. And I was referring to myself as well, because I'm new to science communication, but it's something that I'm happy to take on because it affects us all. And I would like to make my mark in making sure that fishes are represented well and they are preserved.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Thank you so much for bringing so many community members into your work. And we really appreciate everything that you're doing in South Africa. Thank you so very much. And I hope that you continue to be a part of World Fish Migration Day for years to come.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I hope so too.
Oh, that is wonderful. Thank you so much. And one last time, how do you say your last name or your first name?
Andisile.
Andisile. Thank you so much, Andisile.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right. So one of the themes that Andisile just really highlighted was how to communicate. Andisile is a communicator. I consider myself a teacher. And once again, one of the best ways to communicate is through song. So it is time to reconnect with our good friend Larry. Larry, are you still there with us? I see Larry's group, but is Larry himself there? Can you? Yeah, there you go.
I am here.
Awesome, Larry. Awesome, Larry. Larry, but before you sing a second song for us, just a quick question for you. How did you get involved in this work? And by this work, I guess I mean both singing, but more also singing for an environmental reason. Why do you do what you do?
Thank you so much for this time. Literally, it was. It's always been an inspiration to actually be the change, because I come from a country. Thank you so much for this time. You question yourself a lot in terms of what you see around you, and I'm a cautious person. I took it from my mom. It's an energy I got from my mom. She's really environmental cautious and just all around. Social rights fighter for any individual who is not at an advantage in the society. So for me, in terms of the environment, I started it when I was in high school, and it picked up. I wasn't as dedicated as I am right now, so I used to make other types of music, and I decided to attach a course to my music, which is to create awareness about the environment and just have all this knowledge in a melody, with some melody, make it mellow so that it can sink in to anyone and everyone who loves music. And no one doesn't love music. Everyone loves music. So one or another, you'll get to learn while you listen to my music. So it's been an amazing journey so far. A lot of people have been touched. My community is also considering everything that I say, they take me seriously. So that is good. And they, effect change in terms of proper waste management. Nowadays they question themselves before they dump into the river. So that's good.
Well, Larry, you are a big, big part of that questioning. Thank you so much for the work you do and the songs that you have made. Can we hear one of those songs right now?
I stay ready. You can. Let's go.
We're ready. Go for it.
So this next song is called What If? And What If is a song I dedicated to my community to just really ask them, to take charge and take responsibility in terms of our rivers. As we experience challenges with fish migration. And here we don't have like a dam issue. Here we have a pollution issue. So even for my event for Fish Migration Day today, the hashtag was break free from plastic pollution. So this song is dedicated to my community to ask them and just kind of provoke them to imagine if things were different from the way the situation is on the, in our rivers. Hope you enjoy. What if? I'm asking what if? What if you and me were responsible? I can only imagine because last time I checked, I couldn't see through the water. All the water in the river is mixed up with the sewage, Naina Nuka. Few meters away, children are swimming in the river with the same water. Diseases everywhere, it's so risky. Be the change, don't risk it. Rivers are so precious. What if we didn't have plastic and it was never discovered? I see a healthy world going greener and greener. And since you already have the plastic, it's better that we make it biodegradable. The environment will be incredible if we just dispose the plastic off well and recycle it. Maybe make some fiber and use it to make a carpet. Don't be a puppet of bad waste management. You need to manage it. They say one man's trash is another man's treasure. So what if you just get enough and went outside and just did something? I can see the water running here now. I can see the water running here now. And the river sings, I just wanna flow. I just wanna flow. I just wanna flow. I just wanna flow, flow, flow. I just wanna flow. I just wanna flow, flow. I just wanna flow. I just wanna flow, flow, flow. Yeah, yeah. I'm asking what if you can clap where you are. Just clap your hands up and wave your fish flag in the air. I just wanna flow, flow, flow. I just wanna flow. I just wanna flow, flow, flow. I just wanna flow. And the river sings, I just wanna flow, flow, flow. I just wanna flow. I just wanna flow, flow, flow. I just wanna flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. I just wanna flow. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I'm not sure, but I think we may have a new World Fish Migration Day theme song. I'm sure anybody? Oh my gosh.
Hey.
Larry, you are a true river hero. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank
One
you.
round of applause for Larry.
The band made it possible.
Oh my gosh, Larry, thank you so much. That was
appreciate
a
it.
great, and actually that was really the perfect segue to our next part. We're going to hear from some of the most important people in World Fish Migration Day, or in the World Fish Migration. We're going to hear from who's coming in? Najee and Pao, are you guys coming in? Come on in. Here, you guys can take over if you like. Okay. We'll all be in here together. All right. So what I'd like you to do is introduce yourselves and tell us about, well, whatever you want to tell us about. Go for it.
Okay. So we are Neja and Pao. We work at Dam Removal Europe. So we use we communicate and promote most effective solution to fish migration, removing barriers, obstacles, dams in rivers.
This is a project part of World Fish Migration Foundation. And I used to be the World Fish Migration Day event manager. I was a former coordination event manager. And now I am fully working with NESA on Dam Removal Europe. And we have good news.
Yes. So yes, 2 days ago, we first time presented Dam Removal Award for the most inspiring dam removal in Europe. And the award this year went to Finland.
Oh, beautiful.
It was a very special case. In 3 hours north from Helsinki, the river is called Hitalenjoki, and it was very special because the river was totally free from barriers in the Russian side, and then 100 years later, they started to get, thanks to these removals, some landlocked salmon back in Finland from Russia. And what happened? Oh, and thank you. Yes, exactly. You can see the pictures. So then they thought, oh my God, finally salmon is arriving to Finland, and we still have 3 more barriers in the Finnish side of the river. So salmon cannot reach the spawning ground. So they decided there was a foundation that bought these 3 working hydropower dams, they were active, and they bought it to remove them. So the first one was removed last summer, 2021, and this is this one, which won the prize. This summer will be removed the second one, and in summer of 2023 will be removed the third one, and the river will be completely free from barriers.
Yeah.
Wow, that is fantastic. That is outstanding. That is outstanding.
And there are already fantastic results. So they already observed after the first removal, they observed 5 new spawning nests. And we need to stress out this is a critically endangered species, landlocked salmon.
It's true. It's true. Right after removal. Yeah, in less than a year. It's amazing.
That is outstanding. You know, we didn't talk about this earlier, but Neja, you just reminded me that everybody who's out there watching this, we talked about like, hey, what is your home river? I want to challenge everybody out there to take some time this week or this month and find out, do you have a dam near you? Because I think a lot of people almost forget about dams. And you know, reconnecting rivers and getting rid of dams is one of the best things you can do for a river. So everybody out there, listen to these guys. Get out there and find out what is the dam nearest to you, and almost as importantly, why is it there? Yeah. And the answer may be, oh, and that's an important, yeah, go ahead.
Let me help you with this. So while you are out there searching for a dam, download the application Barrier Tracker. That way, it will lead you through all those questions. While, how does it look? What should be a use? Is it a dam? Is it a weir? Is it a culvert? It guides you through. You take a photo, you take the location, and you really help us building up a database of existing dams. And in this way, we can also identify some of the obsolete barriers for the removal. So this is very, very valuable for removing dams and opening up rivers for fish to migrate upstream. Yeah. Totally. So
Neja,
help us.
That is Neja, that is such a great way, like what we were just talking about, for even non-scientists, or maybe people who one day want to be a scientist, they can get involved in this right now today.
Yeah, I mean, we call it citizen science, so anyone can participate. You just need your smartphone and get to work. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, Pao, I think you're also here to talk about another way people can learn about dams and the successes of removing them.
Totally, totally. This summer, hopefully at the end of June, we will launch our first documentary about dam removals. It's called Dam Busters, and it focuses on 5 cases, 5 countries: Spain, France, Lithuania, Estonia, and Finland. So while we travel through all these countries, we interview ministries of environment, river basin authorities, scientists, sport fishing people, fishermen and fisherwomen from commercial fisheries. I don't know how to say in English, for not fish, but marisco, but seafood, except clams, and all that.
Sure.
And children, and we go and talk with all these people to understand first what the river means to them and their fish, their home fish, and why it's being dams removed in their country, why Spain is so active and what kind of legislation they have, why France is the leading country in Europe of dam removals, and why they have so many grants and there's such a big governmental national effort on this. And the new dam removal program national program from Finland, was started in 2019, where they fund up to 50% of the cost of a dam removal. And Estonia, where they did the biggest river opening, and they open up after more than 100 years, 3,300 kilometers of river, thanks to the removal of 7 small weirs. And Lithuania just recently started removing dams 2 years ago. And we go through all their story and their successes and the benefits.
Pao, you really are a river champion. It sounds like you have traveled all over Europe talking to other river champions. Is there, if I wanted to, let's say, I don't know, watch a documentary on you talking to people all over Europe and talking about river champions, is there anything coming out that I should be looking for?
Dam Busters.
What Dam Busters? Tell us about Dam Busters.
This is what I just told you. This is just what I told you, that it goes through 5 countries, and we interview all these people, and it will come out at the end of June. And they will be able to see it online.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Superb.
Stay tuned for that.
In fact, I think we may have a short trailer about that. Is that?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. I'm sorry.
Because we have the old trailer when it was going to be global, but then we focus on Europe first.
Gotcha.
So they can watch the global trailer.
Okay.
That it's called Dam Busters, but the European one, it's about to come.
All right. Awesome. So everybody, wherever you are in the world, put Dam Busters into your head. Coming to a screen near you, Dam Busters.
Dam Busters.
Thank you guys so much for those awesome updates. Really appreciate it. Great work. Great work.
Bye. Enjoy. Happy watching.
Pao and EJ, thank you so much for that. That was outstanding. Excellent. Whew. I'll tell you, I'm breaking a sweat, Nicole, at how much great stuff is going on around the world. And speaking of around the world, when we were, before the program even started, we were chit-chatting a little bit with our next guest, who is going to tell us about some of the great things going on in South America. Please introduce yourself. Please tell us about world fish migration and what it means to you.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Chris, and happy day for all of you. I'm Ana Guzman. I work for the Nature Conservancy as communication manager in Latin America. And yeah, I'm happy I'm here today to share a trailer. I am the one with the trailer today about a documentary that we are producing related with the migration of the Dorado catfish, which is the fish that registered the longest migration, freshwater migration in the world. Then we are producing this video, and what we are doing is working with the communities to protect the rivers of the Amazon, and also the connections that we have in all the Amazon basin, trying to protect the rivers, the biodiversity, and the communities as well. And yeah, this is the work that we are doing. I cannot listen to you, Chris. Are you in mute?
That would be me. Anna, do you mind if we take a minute and watch the trailer and or some of the trailer and maybe talk to you about it after?
Perfect.
Excellent. All right, on. Let's start that up and see what it looks like.
La cuenca amazónica es la más grande del mundo. Es un espacio muy grande, biodiverso y muy importante por lo que significamos para el clima del mundo.
Es un lugar sagrado.
A Amazônia é um planeta à parte.
Tener una especie que recorre todo el Amazonas es impresionante.
El bagre dorado pasó por un proceso evolutivo de adaptarse a estas distintas condiciones. Bagre dorado es la especie de agua dulce que tiene la mayor migración en términos de distancia que se conoce.
Desde las cabeceras del Amazonas va a ir bajando poco a poco hasta llegar al delta del Amazonas. Él va a alimentarse para empezar a crecer y otra vez va a migrar 5.000 a 6.000 kilómetros desde el delta del Amazonas hasta acá. Si hay problemas de contaminación, si hay problemas de deforestación, puede alterarse el cambio migratorio del pez.
El bagre funciona casi como si fuera un indicador biológico de la condición total de la cuenca.
La historia de vida del dorado es una maravilla.
Durante su maravilloso viaje conectan plantas, bosques, gente, pescadores.
La gran mayoría de las comunidades tienen una dependencia directa como fuente de alimento utilizando los peces.
Nosso sustento praticamente vinha de dentro do rio.
Los ríos son más que un canal donde pasa el agua.
Para nosotros es una conexión con todo lo que hay alrededor.
La única manera de proteger esa biodiversidad es si logramos esa colaboración entre países.
Respetemos estos caminos de conectividad que hay entre los países que son los ríos.
El río es parte de la vida de las personas de la Amazonía.
Somos una comunidad pequeña, sí, pero con mucha fuerza de seguir y de proteger nuestro territorio.
Porque nosotros sin agua no podemos vivir.
Vamos zelar, vamos cuidar, porque sem ele nós não somos nada.
Somos la Amazonía.
Wow, that looks amazing. Thank you so much. That looks just awesome. Awesome. Anna, I cannot wait to dive into that topic more, but in the little bit of time left, I have so many questions to ask you, but I guess the most important question is why? Why was putting this looks like so much work, and it encompasses so many pieces of people and society and ecology. Why was this important for you? Why did you want to do this?
And of course, I'm from Ecuador and I'm living in Colombia, both Amazon countries. You know that the Amazon crossed 9 countries. And when you go to the Amazon and you see these amazing rivers and these amazing people living in the basin, you really feel that you have to do something. And I've been living in 40 years in these countries, but with this project, I understood the importance of this ecosystem. I think it's something we need to protect it, and we need to create this movement, because it's not only important for our region, it's important for the world, the Amazon. And I think it's time that we start to work, because there are many threats for the Amazon and also for the Dorado catfish, our Dorado, that we are using this Dorado fish as a symbol of the connectivity in the rivers, the biodiversity, and the communities. And yeah, I think I have to do something as Anna, but also because of my work. And I hope with this video and with this documentary, we can bring more people to engage with the protection of the Amazon.
Anna, you are you and your work and putting some of this is such an inspiration for all of those people all over the world who have fish that they care about and communities that they care about. And I cannot wait to watch this. Just one quick question we had in the chat box, which is, I know this is a trailer. When will the full movie be released?
Yeah, please, one thing that I will suggest to everybody, it's supposed to be ready by July, and we want to bring this to the cinemas. Hopefully, it's not easy, it's like environmental, but I would try to put and do some launches in Brazil, Colombia, and Ecuador especially, but hopefully we can keep working with the World Fish Migration Day Foundation to see other spaces to bring to the COP and other events. But we, please connect, follow us in nature.org, in our social media, TNC Latin America, and you will be able to follow all the work that we are doing to protect the Amazon, but also the updates on this documentary that hopefully is the first time I'm doing this big thing, a big video. And hopefully we can put also in other channels, public channels, and that people can see the most people.
Thank you so much. And we will definitely get the word out. We really appreciate the work you're doing. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
All right. Well, folks, we're actually going to jump back to the Netherlands one more time, because it's time to talk about happy fish. All right, Mike, go ahead. Take it away. Oh, and Mike, I got to warn you, we're going to keep it fast and tight. Go.
Chris, today in the Netherlands, we had about 50 events. And what we've heard from those events, it was great. A lot of people visiting. We had great weather. It was a great day all together. We made a short video of some of the events, some highlights.
My name is Mick Vos. I work at Stichting Ravon. It's reptile, amphibian and fish research in the Netherlands. And we have more than a dozen places in the Netherlands, from south to the north. We have volunteers that do research on different locations. And what they do, after sunset, they have a cross net, a big square net of 1 meter by 1 meter. They put it in the water and lift it up several times. And because of that monitoring, we have a lot of information about when do the glass eels get to the Netherlands, what's the timing, what's the abundance of the glass eels at every place, and by this information we know more about what are important places for the glass eels to get into the fresh water, and how can we do something about it. Maybe there's a sluice or something and we can make it fish migratable.
We wish you a happy Fish Migration Day from Holland. Bye!
Yeah, that was fantastic. That was great. Mike, we just want to thank you and the whole Dutch team for some fantastic work. Your team has really pulled it together, not just this year, but for many years of World Fish Migration Day. And we just want to give a big round of applause to the Dutch team. Woo! Thank you, Mike. Thank you for all the work your team does. That is awesome. Now, I noticed that Mike is holding up some very interesting symbols right there. I believe that's the happy fish.
Happy fish.
And if there's one person who can tell us about what's up with the happy fish, it's our good friend Josh.
Actually, it's funny. My colleague here, so I'm obviously here in Lisbon with the World Fish Migration Foundation team, but my colleague Molly, the director of the freshwater program for the Nature Conservancy in the great state of Maine, is with Happy Fish. Hey, Molly.
Hello, guys. Good to see you. Can you hear me okay?
You great. And I see that beautiful fish that migrated upriver behind you.
She sure is. We're just getting started over here. Things are getting set up and we're about to launch into celebrating World Fish Migration Day here in Maine.
Awesome.
I'm
What are you
standing.
doing?
Yeah, I'm standing in the ancestral territory of the Wabanaki people. I'm here in the Kennebec River watershed, and we're actually at the state capital of Maine. We're in the city of Augusta at Bicentennial Park. So we've got hopefully a lot of people that are going to show up today. There's a fish obstacle course for the kids. We have food, friends, face painting. It's going to be a really exciting event today. So yeah, we're just getting started over here, but we're really excited. And Happy Fish was in the trunk of my car yesterday, and she made it upriver along the Kennebec Drive this morning, and we're all set up. And you'll notice there's also a sea lamprey flag flying behind her, handcrafted by Josh. And so we're super excited to have that flying high today, Josh.
Awesome. Hey, Molly, the Kennebec is a pretty amazing case study for the whole world. And I hear it's an amazing year for the river herring, but the Kennebec is especially special, right?
Yeah, so actually just a couple of days ago on Thursday, we celebrated with many partners an effort led by an organization called Maine Rivers. And this was a celebration of the final pieces of a project that's been over a decade 6 barriers, 2 dam removals in total, a fishway built. So we had a ton of partners standing on site on Thursday in the pouring rain. The governor cut a banner on the fishway and welcomed back Alewife to that system, which is a tributary of the Kennebec River, for the first time in over 200 years. So it was a really special celebration earlier this week. And we have tons of opportunities on the horizon here in Maine for improved fish passage. We're hoping to see a dam removal on Temple Stream, which is another Kennebec watershed dam. And we're hoping to see that happen later this season. And so there's lots of potential opportunities on the horizon for fish passage improvement. A lot of those will actually aid in the restoration of endangered Atlantic salmon here in Maine. So really big things. Keep us in mind, keep paying attention to us here in Maine, and we're excited to share the successes with you as they unfold over the next few years.
Really cool.
That
isn't
is
it?
awesome. That is
So
awesome.
good.
That is so great, Molly. Congratulations. Congratulations. And you know, to both Molly and Josh, thank you guys so much for everything TNC does all over the world. I mean, you guys are doing great work.
We're trying. We got good partners. These are always partner projects. It's always hard work, but it is so worth it. For the Kennebec, where Molly is, the largest run of river herring in the world, right there from the restoration work, just in a couple of decades. So if we can do it there, we can do it all over the world.
Good
Yeah,
attitude.
millions of fish running right now. It's so exciting. It's such an exciting time to be here. So thanks for letting us plug into this global celebration.
Molly, thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you, Molly.
Thanks
very much.
all. Good to see you all.
Bye.
And Josh, thank you too.
You're welcome, man.
Awesome for all the great work you do.
Thank you, Chris.
Good guy right here. Excellent. I can't believe it, everybody. Nicole, I can't believe it. We're starting to get towards our big finale. And part of that, what's that?
Insane.
Insane.
How?
And part of that big finale is we're going to be having an interview with some of just the giants of when we talk about fish and communication and bringing awareness to millions of people. We're going to be interviewing Zeb Hogan as well as Mr. Jeremy Wade. And just to sort of give a little teaser, we'd like to bring Jeremy on right now just to sort of say hello. Hello, sir. Hello, Jeremy. It's nice to see you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hello. I hope have I successfully unmuted myself. Can you give me a thumbs up? Fantastic.
100%.
Yeah. Well, it's lovely to be here. Good to be here.
Oh, that's great. Now, Jeremy, we're going to be talking with you a little bit later on, but just to sort of ask a lead-up question to get people thinking, when you think of World Fish Migration Day, you know, why is that an important day? Why should that be an important day?
Well, it's important because I think a lot of people, particularly river fish, they're not very visible. I enjoyed the flag thing earlier on because what that showed is, you know, fish are fascinating when you can see them, but a lot of the time we can't see them. So they tend not to be regarded as wildlife. Somebody's got to speak for them. And I think what World Fish Migration Day is doing, it is speaking on behalf of the fish. And I think what has been impressive to me is over such a short time, how there are results already. I mean, we heard about the dam removal in Finland and the fact that, you know, salmon are already breeding as a result of that. So the fact is, you know, nature can bounce back really quickly if given a little bit of help. But before the action, you've got to have people caring about the fish. Before they care about them, they have to be aware of them. So it's, you know, World Fish Migration Day, you know, when it's set up, there was a lot of work to be done, starting with the awareness, then the caring, and then then leading to the action. But it's impressive how much has been achieved in such a short time. And it seems that there is real momentum, which is clear from what I've seen today. So it's, yes, it is important because, you know, unfortunately the fish can't speak for themselves. Some people have to speak on their behalf, and it seems to be bearing fruit.
Jeremy, you laid out such a great continuum of success. I think we'd love to explore that a little bit later on in the program. And just thank you very much for being here. And we are going to talk with you and Zeb Hogan in just a little bit. So everybody should stay tuned because we're going to hear more from Jeremy and some of the wonderful fish that he gets to work with. But before we get into that, we have one more round the world spot. We are going to hear from one more site, our good friend Gordon in Hawaii. Gordon, take it away. What's going on in Hawaii?
Hey, aloha, Chris. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. The sun is just coming up here on the island of Oahu. And in a few hours, we will start our World Fish Migration celebration. And what I wanted to do, if it's okay, is provide a quick description of the location where we're working to benefit migratory fish. And I've provided the staff with a short video just to highlight some of the fish and invertebrates that are found here in Hawaii. We're going to be working at a location called He'ia, Lower He'ia Stream, and we'll have partners out planting a variety of native plants to clear the way for native fish. In the video clip, you can see that Hawaii is really well known for its beautiful scenery. A variety of small streams and rivers flow from the interior mountains out to the sea. And what's really amazing is the community of fish and invertebrates that are found there. We have some images that we'll go through to illustrate them. These are all gobies. So an unusual thing about the fish is that they have a modified pelvic fin, which allows them to cling to the rock surfaces. They have a little suction cup on their dorsal side. And even though the streams in Hawaii are very steep, the topography is very steep, these fish can cling to the surface of the rocks. They have a diadromous life history. They are adults. They live as adults in the stream. Once they reproduce, the eggs and larvae are washed all the way out. They are planktonic for some period of time. And then the juveniles begin this arduous migration inland and upstream. In addition to got a hiccup in the sound. Are we okay there? Good, thank you. So the fish are primarily herbivorous. You can see the amazing imagery here where they're feeding on the surface of the substrate. The males, when they're in breeding condition, are really showy. The fish are called o'opu in the Hawaiian language. This one here is o'opu alamo'o, which refers to its amazing red tail that you can see. In addition to the fish, there's several invertebrates that are found in Hawaiian streams. They also are diadromous, that is, they are adults in the stream. The larvae are found out in the ocean as plankton, and then they begin this return migration. The o'opu have a variety of feeding mechanisms where they pick off the surface of the rocks. They also do this filter feeding where they can hold up the bristles on their feet and sweep through the water in order to feed. As I said, the streams are steep. There are numerous waterfalls throughout the Hawaiian Islands on virtually every stream. And again, the behavior of these fish is remarkable in that they can make this return migration. The images in the video now show first some of these juvenile shrimp coming up out of the ocean and making their way up through the steep topography, climbing up higher up into the waterfall, up into the mountainous interior. Also in the video, you can see one of these o'opu, one of these fish coming up, clinging to the rock surface and making its way up over the rocks. So even though they can climb, there's a variety of threats that these fish face when there are human-caused barriers to migration. This can involve dams, water withdrawals, especially with water being taken out of the stream till it runs dry because the fish can't migrate at all. Also road crossings where there are culverts and other kinds of human-caused barriers. And getting these images is not easy. And I want to acknowledge the videographers, Jeremy Monroe, David Hermschut from the production company Freshwaters Illustrated. They're working really hard to put together a documentary for us. This is just a preview of some of the images they've captured. And next year we'll have a short documentary production highlighting the amazing migratory fish in Hawaii. And that work's being supported by the Hawaii Fish Habitat Partnership, the Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies here in the US, and also the US Forest Service. So yeah, those images are really special, and we'll be showing more of those and releasing those in about a year's time.
Gordon, that was fantastic. And there's a lot of people in the chat box that are just loving watching that. Thank you so much for all you do for World Fish Migration Day. And thank you so much for bringing this incredible corner of the fish world alive and real for all of us. So just thank you very, very much for everything you do.
So our event here on Oahu in Hawaii is considered the official closing event of World Fish Migration Day, and that's simply due to geography. As the organizers and you know, World Fish Migration Day starts in New Zealand and goes right around the world over 24 hours. And because we're close to the dateline, our event in Hawaii is the final event. And we're going to get started as soon as it gets a little lighter outside. And we expect to have a great day with a bunch of volunteers working to benefit the migratory fish found here in Hawaii.
Wow, thank you so much, Gordon. That is absolutely fantastic. Please say hello to my good friend, Fred Raccoon, for all the work that he's doing for the research
I'll be
reserve.
meeting Fred. Yeah, I'll be meeting Fred in just a few hours.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much, Gordon. Thank you so much for closing out World Fish Migration Day's awesome events around the world. That was fantastic. We have seen events from all over the globe. So it makes perfect sense for us to end this event, this Zoom event, with two scientists who have literally traveled around the world in the pursuit of fish and bringing fish alive for millions of other people. To the best of my knowledge, Zeb and Jeremy, have you two met before? Or is this the first time? I know this is sort of virtual meeting, but I don't know, you tell me.
No, we haven't. No. I think we might have sort of we might have been in a position where we could have waved out of windows of various aircraft, but not in person.
Yeah, never met before, but it's a pleasure. Nice to meet you, Jeremy. I really respect your work. You've inspired millions of people all over the world. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you, and likewise. You know, sort of we're doing it's important work, isn't it? You know, fish have not really featured on TV because of the difficulties involved, or particularly river fish. So yeah, making up for lost time there.
Beautiful. I have noticed that there are quite a few young people, quite a few teachers that are on this call, quite a few people who are young at heart. I'm going to guess that many of the people who are watching this have interesting stories of how they got involved in this weird world of fish and rivers. What were some of the formative experiences for you? Or if it's a better question, why do you do what you do? And we would love to hear from each of you. And Zeb, can we start with you and then we'll move to Jeremy? Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds good. I hope for people that are watching, for kids that are watching, they feel like no matter where they are in the world, if they have a passion for fish, they can get involved. I grew up in the middle of the desert in Arizona, outside of Phoenix, Arizona, one of the hottest, driest places on earth. And yet I've spent my life studying freshwater fish. You know, in Arizona, it's 120 degrees in the summer. Where do you want to be? You want to be near the water. And I learned early on that if you're near water in Arizona, you're near life. It's beautiful places in Arizona where there is water filled with wonderful aquatic life. And then as I got older, I got a summer job working in the Grand Canyon doing native fish surveys, trying to understand the impacts, for example, of Glen Canyon Dam on the native fish of the Colorado, which hasn't been good. And then, gradually saw what I was doing, that what I was doing could be a career. And that was wonderful. I received small grants from Wildlife Conservation Society, small grants from WWF, from National Geographic, and just slowly put one thing together after another until I ended up being able to focus on migratory freshwater fish for my career. So I just really hope that people who are watching and listening, no matter where you are, what position you're in, just go for it. If you have a passion for it, go for it and do it.
Awesome. Thank you, Zeb. Thank you. How about you, Jeremy? How did you build this love?
Well, in some ways, similar to what Zeb was saying, because I think, people say to say mountain climbers, why do you climb mountains? So I think it's the fact that you see them and you have this curiosity. I grew up in southeastern England in a small village, and there was a river going through the middle of the village, and so it was just a case of exploring that river. And what happened there is, all the young boys at that time, unfortunately, it was mainly boys. It's not regarded as a thing. It's changing a bit, but it's not regarded as a thing that a lot of girls and women do. But I was given a fishing rod for a birthday or Christmas, and I went down, and it's just that thing of suddenly becoming aware that there is something beyond the surface. There is a whole world there. And although I have now been many places around the world, the thing, again, echoing what Zeb said, is that you can find that other world can be very, very close to you. You don't have to go to far-flung corners of the world. It can be very close. So I started catching fish on a fishing line, because that was, I suppose, I later went on to study zoology at university, but a fishing line very much is my sampling tool. Even if you dive in which I have done in a lot of fresh water, you're just not going to see anything. So it's bringing the fish out, looking at it, and they all go back. And then so sort of it's been a continuum since then, really. It's this awareness that, well, it's not just stuff that is near where I live. There's got to be other things around the world. So I started traveling independently, just getting odd jobs, saving up. I traveled to India. I went to Southeast Asia. I went to the Congo. I went to the Amazon. This is all basically me doing independent traveling. And then while all that was happening, I just became aware that, hang on a minute, there are these amazing natural history programs on TV, but freshwater fish just don't get a look in, and it's because it's, how on earth do you do that? There isn't you can't do that in the sort of the traditional normal way. What other way is there to tell the stories of freshwater fish? And so what I ended up doing was almost coming at that from a completely different accidental angle, but I've been doing that now for something like, on and off 15, 20 years, something like that. So with still some mileage left, I believe.
That's what we like to hear. So my second rambling question is when we think about these rivers and we think about the beautiful fish that live in there and the things that you've been able to see, and we've talked a couple of times today about inspiring this next generation of river monsters and this next generation of the people who love those river monsters. So as we look ahead to the future, what are some of the things that the we as individuals, but also the we as society and governments can or should be doing to make sure we have a next and a next and a next generation of people and fish thriving and enjoying these rivers? And we'll switch the order. Well, Jeremy, you can go, and then we'll go to Zeb. So again, on that, both that individual level, but that big level, what do you think?
Right. Well, I think it is, keeping up this sort of the awareness thing. I think the trouble is, conservation is very much sort of in the news. People, there's a certain amount though of sort of almost sort of conservation fatigue, and there's a lot of bad news out there, and I think a lot of people feel that actually it's a losing battle. And what is great, I mean, just over the course of today, seeing some of the results that can happen, and particularly in the case of fish and rivers, with a little bit of help, it's amazing what the results can be and how quickly they can happen. So I think what is really important, it's to hold up those examples of look what we've achieved. It's so, as I said before, there's that continuum of working from nobody's got a clue about what lives in the rivers to getting that awareness, and then that leads to caring about them. What exactly do they need in terms of an environment that allows them to thrive? And then how can we take action? And then the next step is, and this is what we did when we took action. And isn't that amazing? It wasn't a lot of people, but just, you know, the right attention in the right place, and already it's producing results. So I think, you know, lift up those examples from all over the world, and this is what we're achieving, and let's help to build momentum here.
We lost our host.
Oh.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. Zeb, how about you?
Yeah, so I have a story. I manage a project called Wonders of the Mekong over in the Mekong Basin, especially in Cambodia, that highlights what an amazing river the Mekong is. And I have a story from last week just about some individuals, what some individuals did to protect, in this case, a migratory giant freshwater stingray. So we work with fishers up in northern Cambodia. And last week or 2 weeks ago, our team got a call. A fisherman who we had worked with before had incidentally caught a 180 kilo, 400 pound giant freshwater stingray. And he was calling us to ask if we would come up and facilitate the release of this stingray back into the river. And so, unbeknownst to me, I was back in the US. 4 members of our team got in a van, drove overnight up to this place on the Stung Treng River, and worked with this community to release this giant freshwater stingray back into the river. And people can look online, the video is online now, but you can see the online, everyone is waving to the stingray as it swims off into the Mekong River. And this was very inspirational. Internally, it was very inspirational to the people in our project to be involved with this, but I hope it was also inspirational to people who viewed this video and can see, hey, individual people can take action to promote the conservation of these amazing fish and of rivers. So that's just one example. I think on a broader scale, I mean, this Wonders of the Mekong project is federally funded, which means everyone in the US is actually contributing to this work that we're doing because they're supporting it. And then more broadly, I just think we need to find a balance between our needs for water and the needs of water for things like migratory fish and other aquatic life. So really, try to find that balance, realize that it's not just us that needs water for all kinds of things, but there are also thousands and thousands and thousands of other animals and plants and biodiversity that need that water too. So we really need to try to find that balance. And I think this, dam removal movement that we've been hearing about today is certainly a bright spot, recognizing, hey, we don't need every dam, we don't need to block every river. Let's get rid of some of these dams we don't need anymore and leave the river open for migratory.
Wow. Well, Zeb and Jeremy, we just want to wrap up this program with a bunch of rays of gratitude, like the rays in a fish fin. There's the gratitude to you both for the work that you've done for decades, but also for being here and being a source of inspiration for everybody tuning in today. Thank you so much for that. I want to say a special thank you to the staff and the team at the World Fish Migration Foundation, many of whom you saw in a dance party earlier on in this program. Fantastic work, everybody, in putting this whole program together. Thank you to the sponsors who helped make this program come together. And most importantly, thank you to everyone who joined in today and who continues to be an advocate, steward, and champion for the rivers and fish that live and thrive near you. Zeb and Jeremy, thank you so much for giving us that reminder that there is good news in the world, that there is good thing that is going. Obrigado, gracias, merci, shukran. Thank you to everybody. We're going to close with a music video from Jeff Operman, and we want to say thank you to everybody. We will see you out on a river. Be the bestuary you can be. Bye, everybody.
I'ma tell a little story about when fish are migratory. They appear just like you're in a dream, arriving in your water courses, cause they're looking for resources once they learn to swim upstream. But we need to keep those swimways flowing and connected to the sea. From deltas to the mountains, come on, it's time now to break free. We can leap toward changes and splash the truth, taking out barriers to close the loop. Reconnect rivers, offer safe harbor, maintain connections for those that wander.
Migratory is an ancient kind of story that flows across the centuries. But the rivers we keep damming, floodplain doors we keep on slamming. Let's reverse those trends now, if you please.
Cause we need to keep those swimways flowing and connected to the sea. From deltas to the mountains, come on, it's time now to break free. We can leap toward changes and splash the truth, taking out barriers to close the loop. Reconnect rivers, offer safe harbor, maintain connections for those that wander. Migratory, ancient story. Give them shelter in this crazy world. With the atmosphere warming and with floods from all the storming river floodplains, man, they can assist. They can lower the flood levels, filter dirt and heavy metals. There's so much more than just for the fish. And while we give them their safe harbor, we get some shelter from the storms. Nature-based solutions, a landscape that is transformed. We can leap toward changes and splash the truth, taking out barriers to close the loop. Reconnect rivers, offer safe harbor, maintain connections for those that wander. Leap toward changes and splash the truth, taking out barriers to close the loop. Reconnect rivers, offer safe harbor, maintain connections for those that wander.
Wow. One more huge shout out for Zeb and Jeremy. Wow. Thank you guys so much. And how about that Dutch team, everybody? Yeah, that Dutch team. That's what I'm talking about. Awesome work, everybody. Awesome work. Awesome work. All right. I think we've got rivers to save. Why are we all watching Zoom right now? Huh? If you're not inspired now, what can we do? Bye-bye.